What is happening? Welcome to week 9 preview of the Other D1 podcast. My name is Jordan Selfo. As always, joining me is Kyle Fishbeck. Kyle, how are we doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you?
What, are you waiting for the middle name?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
waiting for it.
Hey, I got to keep you on your toes somehow. Well, man, we got a great slate of games this weekend. I'm super excited. We got one that this is the real deal. Like
Yeah,
this is
high stakes.
major implications here.
All of them have major
They
implications.
really do, but I mean, when you got, two at the top
Yeah,
playing, that's obviously going to be our game of the week. We'll get to it. Really want to give a huge shout out to our producer, Mike, for doing all the behind the scenes work. So he's doing a great job. We couldn't do it without him. We are very technologically illiterate.
yeah.
So,
Big
yeah,
Mike.
Big Mike. Yeah, we'll jump right into it. Kyle, anything else you looking forward to this weekend? Or,
Yeah, we got tons of great matchups. Obviously, going to be watching that A&M LSU game.
oh,
But
Jesus.
other than that, no, we got a full slate
Freaking
of
Aggies.
Southland Conference games, and I'm fired up to catch these. So
Well, first game we got is Lamar. They are 4-3 playing at Northwestern State. That is a 2 p.m. kickoff over there in Natchitoches, Louisiana. Kyle, what you thinking on this one?
I think this is going to be very, very similar to that Nicholls Northwestern State game we saw last week.
Yeah,
Lamar is going to be picked to win by more points than they actually win by.
it's
Kind of
actually
play down their
that's a good
competition a little
point.
bit.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They want to run the rock behind Kalen Griffin. They're
Right.
going to take time-consuming drives, and we've seen the Northwestern State defense show up. So
Yeah, man. I mean, you got Blake Gocher back there. He's flying around, obviously having an incredible year on defense. But they're the ones that are basically living on the field, right? Yeah, I do think it's definitely going to be similar to what the line's going to be. All that. Oh, totally forgot to mention. So we don't have lines again this week. Guy's still on vacation. He must have got laid off or something. I don't know. So we don't have lines again this week. We'll be sure to tweet out the stamp picks. Do you still say tweet if it's X? I don't
yeah,
know.
I do.
Post
It's
it. Whatever. So we'll post our stamp picks Saturday morning. So we'll make sure we get those out to you. But yeah, back to this game. Lamar, I do think the line's going to be about that 28 range again, just like Nicholls was.
Yep.
Now, do I think Lamar is the same team as Nicholls? No. I do think Nicholls provides just a little bit more dynamic as far as consistency goes. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Northwestern State's defense is going to show up. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Northwestern, let's see if we can get something going on offense. Coach McCorkle says it all the time about how many freshmen they're playing, all the injuries they're dealing with. So, we'll see what happens. Anything else you got on that one?
No, yeah, that's all I got there. Next matchup we got Texas A&M Commerce at Prairie View A&M. That's a 2 o'clock kickoff at Panther Stadium. Prairie View's got some athletes. What are you thinking here, Jordan?
Dude, I really like A&M Commerce in this game. I mean, obviously they're 1-6. They're sitting 1-6 right now, so they don't have a good overall team record. Morale's probably a little bit low, but it's got to be higher than what it was before last week. I mean, they lost on a last-second field goal or not a last second, but end of the game field goal to Lamar. So you got to think like A&M Commerce is going to come out. Okay, we can compete in this league. You know what I mean? Ron Peace, I think, hooking up with Christian Jourdain. They got some rhythm going on through the air. And Prairie View A&M, we seen them play Southland Conference games earlier this year, and they I don't think they're a good team. I mean, they're 2-5 for a reason.
They're not a good team. Like I said, they have some athletes because they played UIW earlier in the season, and they were able to put some drives together in the first half. Obviously, UIW pulled away later. A&M Commerce lost earlier in the season to Grambling in overtime. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yep.
Then Grambling took Prairie View A&M to 5 overtimes just 2 weeks ago. There's a lot of trying to compare these different teams and programs. It's tough, but I agree with you. A&M Commerce probably going to get the win here, but don't be surprised if we have a high-scoring game and it's one possession type deal.
For sure. I can definitely see a high-scoring game. I do think A&M Commerce is a different team than what they were at the beginning of the year. Ron Peace is starting to find his groove. They're not doing the quarterback system with Eric Rodriguez anymore. Ron Peace is starting to find a little bit of a rhythm. Yeah, I definitely do think it. Yeah, I could easily see it being a one-possession game. I think A&M Commerce comes away with the win. So we'll see what happens there. But moving on to the next one, we got McNeese playing at Nicholls. That's a 3 p.m. kickoff at John L. Guidry Stadium down there in Thibodaux. Kyle, what you got on this one?
This is a sneaky important matchup for both these teams.
Yeah, it is.
I think loser of this game is out of the running for conference title. Obviously, the winner is still going to need some help, and they're going to need to pretty much win out. Yeah, I mean, this entire week is basically separating the front runners from the rest of the pack. We're going to know the top 3 teams.
Separate the men from the boys. Yep.
Exactly. So
for sure. Yeah, I definitely think Nicholls, they're having, you could call it a down year because of that early stretch that, they're playing high caliber FBS schools. So,
right.
I mean, that's what sucks about the records. You really, once we get into this time, you got to look at the conference records. Nicholls is just sitting right in the middle of the conference at 1-1. And so and same with McNeese, McNeese is they're sitting at 1-2. So with these two schools, if McNeese loses this, you essentially have to say they're out of the running for conference champions.
Right.
But Nicholls still has that chance. So yeah, every game here on out is super, super important. Guggenheim going to get rolling. Is Pat McQuaid going to take care of the football and not throw balls that should be intercepted but gets dropped? You know what I mean? You look at McNeese, is Six Killer, is he still going to be the guy and rolling and hopefully, create some momentum on offense?
Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, Nicholls has to execute better in the passing game to win this ball game, in my opinion. McNeese has a good defense. They held UIW to 30 points, which not great, but that's a lot less than some teams have done. So
right. And and Micah Davies back. He's out there flying around along with Bugsy Silvera. So
right.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a good test. It's going to be this is going to be a tight one. I think this is going to be low scoring and a tight one.
Yeah, no, I could see that. We talk all the time about Nicholls' defense, so we know what they can do.
Right.
So moving on here. Game of the week. No question about it.
Easy game of the week.
Number 14, UIW headed down to Hammond, America, play Southeastern Louisiana, 6 p.m. kickoff at Strawberry Stadium. It doesn't get any bigger, this.
We thought, last week with SFA, Southeastern, that was going to be our big game, but this is so much bigger. You got the two top dogs at the top of the conference, Southeastern sitting at 3-0 and Incarnate Word sitting at 2-0. This is going to be awesome. The only thing I worry about for UIW is the travel. Is that travel gonna wear on them a little bit? Because that's a 9-hour bus ride. When we traveled to Southeastern from here, we would stay in by the airport in Kenner, just outside New Orleans. So, and then that's another 50-minute drive, whatever it is, up to Hammond from Kenner. So, or are they gonna do? Some people stay in Baton Rouge, but that's still another 45 minutes. Yeah, that's the only thing I worry about with UIW. Is they're gonna be groggy from travel, or are they gonna be able to show up, start fast, start hot, Calzada, make some plays, take care of the football,
right?
And then Southeastern going to be able to just stick to the game plan, take care of the football, stick to the game plan, run the damn ball behind Antonio Martin, and get Rodeo Graham involved in there, and then take your shots with Darius Lewis when you need to.
Yeah, on paper UIW is a better team, but when you go down to Hammond, America, you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we saw last week SFA getting beat.
Right.
UIW is going to have to be a lot more crisp, a lot more sharp than we saw last week against McNeese. Like you said, Calzada's got to take care of the football. I do think this is going to be the ultimate test for Southeastern's run game. UIW's got some dogs up front. So, kind of one of those deals we were talking about last week. Which team's yin and yang version of football is going to come out on top? I think it's going to be a close one through 3 quarters, and then UIW is going to pull away. My early prediction.
All right. You heard it here, Frank. Nice little motivation tool for him. But, I am so excited for that one. Moving on to the next one, we have Houston Christian playing at SFA. That is another 6 p.m. kickoff up there in Nacogdoches, Texas. Kyle, what you got on this one?
HCU coming off a bye week.
Get some guys back, get healthy in the training room.
Does their offense come out hot like we saw when they were winning those ball games 3 weeks ago? I still think SFA is probably going to run away with this one. They're upset about what happened last week.
Right.
Yeah, you can't count HCU out after what we've seen their offense been able to do, just a few weeks ago. So
yeah, I mean, are we going to get Brick Handler or CJ Rogers going to be the guy? Or are we going to, rotate them in and out of series? The week before the bye is when they played Southeastern, and that's when Brick Handler went out. You just got to make sure that these guys are healthy, they're ready to go. But you saw some good throws from Rogers, but you saw, I guess, a more complete play from Brick Handler with him being able to be more athletic and make the plays with his feet. So with SFA, yeah, like you said, they're going to be motivated as hell. They're pissed off about last week. Although, I mean, they have nothing to hang their heads about. It was a damn good game. They played a good game, but yeah, they're going to be pissed off and wanting to prove a point. I don't know what the spread's going to be in favor of SFA. I know that. I'm not sure. I can't get a gauge. Maybe 8. What do you think?
Yeah, I was probably leaning a touchdown, maybe 10 points.
You get a 3-point gap there.
Well,
I mean, at least I gave an exact number.
All right, I'll go with 10. We're going with 10-point spread. Right. I'll tell you one thing, though. Both these teams running no-huddle, high up-tempo offenses. Be prepared for a high-scoring game, especially if HU comes out hot.
Right.
That could be a potential stamp pick there. This could be a 40-35 type situation if HU really comes to ball.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's all we got. Sorry again for the stamp picks not being on today's episode. Like I said, we'll post those out tomorrow. Good luck to everybody's bets, and we'll catch everybody on Tuesday for our recap and interview. We got a great one coming for you, so we'll be announcing that, so stay tuned. Peace.
Cheers.